is India with Bags and Lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching this video. Welcome or welcome back. I am happy either way that you are here. That was backwards, but whatever. We're going to roll with it because it was still a full sentence. So today's video will be a rather quick one, and we're going to talk about handbag organizers. So really I wanted to talk about, as you can see from the title, which will be, are they worth it? And so I definitely wanted to just give my perspective on whether I think they're worth it or not. So let me just give you a quick spiel of the two types of handbag organizers I have, and then I'll talk about reasons why I've seen people use them, people mention why they've used them, and then we'll go from there with my thoughts. So I do have two different companies that I have purchased handbag organizers from. Both of them I'm pretty sure I found on Etsy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I found them on Etsy, but this is one brand here. Both of them are not by kind of like one of the really, really popular or more expensive like Samorga. They were just from, companies that made handbag organizers. So as you can see, I like to go for a pop of color. So in my Burberry, it's the pink pop that I wanted to do. And let me just lean over and grab my other bag, my Fendi Peekaboo. And you can see the pop of color. I want it to go for a yellow color here. So, pop of color is what I like to do in my mini Peekaboo. So those are the two different organizer types that I bought. And one brand was specifically for the bag that I purchased. So the company that I used, which was Handbag Angels, I believe, but I'll leave a link down below so that way you know where I got them. It was for the Peekaboo. So they actually made this style for the Peekaboo, and they have their branded logo here. So let me just pull out the other one really quick so we can just do a quick comparison of those two. So this one is two pieces too, but I'm just going to take out one because they're the same. And it's of this one. So you'll see here that this one's a little bit more structured than this one. So first up, let me just give some reasons why I've seen people mention, basically, or heard people mention why they've used handbag organizers, as well as reasons why I bought them too. So first up, a lot of people do want that organization, especially when you have a tote, for example, and it's open and there's just open space, and you don't want it to be just basically like a black hole where you're reaching and looking for everything. I'm a person where I love organization, and handbag organizers give you that because they'll come with, like, I have the open space here, but then there is a pocket. I've seen some more organized than this where they have pockets on the inside, on the side, in the middle, or like this one. This one's a little bit more of a structured organizer shape. And so you'll see here, there's an open space in the middle. There's a larger slip pocket along the back. And then there's two smaller segmented slip pockets, I guess we'll call them. Basically a larger one of these split in half. And so this one gives you a lot more organization than this one based off of the number of pockets that's with it. But that's definitely one of the reasons why I've seen people use them. And like I said, one of the reasons why I would get an organizer. Other reasons are some people want to also protect the interior of their bags. And that's the reason why I bought mine for both of those handbags, is to protect the interior of the bags. Both of those bags are lined with lambskin. Yeah, both of those, I was trying to remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I definitely know the Burberry is lined with lambskin, and I'm pretty sure the Fendi is too, because the exterior is made of lambskin. So for those reasons, I also wanted to protect the interior of my bag because it was aligned with a more delicate piece of leather. So for those two reasons, and then the other reason that other people also purchase handbag organizers is to provide structure. I was trying to remember. I was like, what is the other reason? Provide structure also. So if you have a really large bag, like I mentioned, with like no pockets, none of that, it's just a big open space. Usually those bags are floppy. They will collapse on themselves. And so for that reason, also people like to kind of give it some structure, allow it to be able to stand up on its own if you have a bag that does that. I also did buy the handbag organizer for that reason, not necessarily for the Peekaboo, but more so for the Burberry TV, because it's an accordion style bag, and I wanted to make sure that I helped maintain its structure, because I felt like because it's easily, it can collapse on its, not really collapse on itself, but I guess what I was thinking about is not wanting to squeeze this too much here. And so I thought the organizer will also be helpful too for structural support as well. Because I actually store, because I'm nervous about I'm nervous about these little pieces here curving inside like they already kind of are. So I do store it like this. And so I thought that as gravity is pulling, and the top part is being encouraged to push down on towards the back side of the bag, I felt like having an organizer in there as I stored it would help keep its shape. So we'll see if that works. But I've had the bag for going on a little over a year. Yes, a little over a year. So we'll see how that goes. So those are the 3 reasons that I've heard people talk about organizers. And the pop-up color is really nice pizzazz and a nice surprise to have in there too. And so for all of those reasons, I purchased different sets of organizers. Now, moving on to whether I think they're worth it. My personal opinion is I don't think it's necessary for you to purchase an organizer for every single handbag. One of the things that I did was with this one here, this organizer is not even made for that bag. That bag is not as popular as other brands. So actually what I did was I looked at the measurements and then I looked at the options that were out there, because I didn't want a custom organizer. I thought, you know what, I would at least be able to interchange this organizer and switch it in and out for other bags that I may have in my collection now or in the future. And for those reasons, I didn't want a custom organizer to fit in that bag for that reason. So this organizer actually is for the the small Lulu or the toy Lulu. I always get this wrong, but basically it's for one of those sizes of the YSL, toy or small Lulu. So this is the one that goes with this one. So the Lulu for the size that I bought this for is smaller than my bag, but I can still fit it in there. I do have some space on the side that is not covered by the organizer because it doesn't go it's not as long basically. But even then, I still only use this portion. I know I'm giving up some space, but I'm okay with that. And like I said, because I did want to interchange it and use it for different reasons. So like I was saying, I don't think you need an organizer for every handbag that you have, especially if you're a person where you have a lot of totes. I would more so try to get more bang for my buck. I mean, like when you're not using that bag, you're using another one. And so if you're using another one where, for example, if you like totes, handbags, tote styles, big open spaces, then it's likely that you may have an organizer for one bag that will fit in another one. And while you're not using the other one, because most of the time you're not carrying 2 bags at the same time. So for that reason, then you may be able to just switch out your organizer and put it in another one. That way, instead of having multiple organizers for every single bag under the sun. Now, if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just thinking from my perspective, those are ways that you can still use the organizer, but then also not have to waste money on buying multiples. Now, and I think overall they are worth the investment. Now, I don't know whether I'm along the train of spending a lot of money on an organizer. I can completely understand, like, for example, I can think about, I've seen some people do unboxings of their Birkins and their Kellys, and they use 7RP, and I totally get why they want to go that route. Because it is likely that if your organizer is not a good fit for your bag, it could cause creases, it could cause abnormal pockets, or not support your bag completely in the way that you need it to be supported. And that's going to be completely whether you decide to do that or not. Definitely, I can see why people will purchase very expensive organizers specifically for bags that cost you $10,000, $7,000. Like, I get it. I don't know whether I would ever do it or not. I would have to be in that position to be spending $7,000 and $10,000 on a bag. And then I have to come back and let you know whether I change my mind or not. I have no opinion either way, whether it's a waste of money or not, because I feel like there are definitely, like I said, valid reasons for doing that. And I mean, if you got $10,000 to spend on a handbag, you have another $200-300 to spend on an insert. So why not? Why not get that perfect match? Why not get that support? You know, a lot of times the devil is in the details, and it may visibly look the same, but when you get it and if there's something specifically made for a product, it's usually better that you get the item that's the support item that is specifically made for that product, because it just makes it a lot better of an experience, maintenance, all of those type of things. So yeah, that's my little spiel about that. So otherwise, I do think they're worth it. Like I said, I don't plan on buying organizers for every single bag, but for those reasons, when I have bags that fit that category where they need extra structure, I am worried about the interior, want to maintain that interior lining, whether that also, like I mentioned, which would be for organizational reasons, then I do think it's worth it to have an organizer. For me, I don't think it's necessarily worth it for me to have an organizer for every single handbag, because I like to get more bang for my buck. So that's just my thoughts, and hopefully that was helpful. I will say, like I mentioned, I think I gave the example related to how I still use this insert that was for a different handbag for my Burberry TB, because when you go custom, they are more expensive, and I didn't want to spend $110, $120 on an organizer. So that's why I went this route, because it worked for the bag is basically what I'm getting at. So thank you for watching this video. Throw those comments down below. Don't forget to like, and thank you for watching. Bye.